G'day guys, so I've been experimenting a little bit lately with Meshcore. Now some of you might be familiar with Meshtastic. Meshcore is very similar except it, in my opinion, works a little bit better than Meshtastic. There's more smarts around the routing of messages once the message gets sent from a Meshcore device to another Meshcore device. It figures out the best way to route it, then it knows that that is the route that the message has to take, which is a little bit smarter than Meshtastic, which I think just sort of blasts it out and has a lot of airtime, a lot of usage. So once your network builds out, your mesh network builds out, you can get collisions and issues like that. The other thing that Meshcore also allows is it allows repeaters as well. And that's where my interest came in. My interest comes in experimenting, tinkering, and building. Now, I've just been using a little ThinkNode M1 here. This is my sort of little Meshcore device that I've been playing around with here lately. But the big problem with this is that if I want to get into the mesh network, I've got this short little stubby antenna inside my house here. I can't get out, and I want to be able to build a repeater to put outside that will go from this device to the repeater, then out into the broader mesh network. So that's where I built something like this. This is built entirely pretty much from bits from AliExpress. All of the bits I'm going to show you in this video will be linked below in the description, as well as some other bits as well that you can use to build your own Meshcore repeater. So I'm going to go through what I've built this out of, where you could deploy this as well. So Meshcore repeaters are generally put high up in the top of mountains, top of buildings. Don't go putting these randomly out. Ask for permission before you go deploying these, okay? Now, obviously the biggest protruding part of this is the solar panel. Now, because this is designed to be sort of mounted outside and left without any sort of source of power, it needed a way of charging some batteries inside. It's got a little USB-C plug on the end of it. These are marketed as a 10-watt solar panel. 5 volts out. Now, when I did some testing after I've got these, they're not exactly that. 10 watts would infer that it's about 2 amps out. I put this into reasonable sun. It wasn't full sun, but I was only seeing about 7.5 volts out at about 250 milliamps. But I think in full sun it would be fine. And with the batteries and the setup that I've got, this should be more than enough to charge the batteries for what I need. So one of these, not too expensive, these little solar panels. So that's what I've got mounted on the front. You'll notice too that there's this box as well that I've got it mounted. So you can get these off of AliExpress too. There's 2 versions that I bought. One's bigger than the other. This is the smaller version. This is well, it's written IP66 on the back of it. It's got these clips here on the side, and if you open this up, you'll notice that it's got this weather seal on the inside. There's also spots for sort of mounting inside there as well, some brackets, plastic brackets. So you could put a little tiny node in this, I reckon, maybe with a single battery, but I went for the slightly larger box here, which also has slightly nicer metal clips on the side. You undo this, and it's got all the same sort of stuff and things inside to mount it. So they're the mounting enclosures there that we've got. Now the other thing before we open it up is you'll see this antenna on the top. So I got this also from Ali. This is a 5.5 dBi antenna. It's for 880 to 955 megahertz. Now this one is a longer antenna. I've also got a shorter one here. This has got 3 dBi of gain, same sort of frequency range, although the frequency here is plus or minus 20 megahertz at 915 megs, which we use here. So yeah, you'll notice that it's a little bit shorter. Now I will talk about antennas. If you do have a Meshcore repeater located high up on a mountain, you might not necessarily want a super long antenna because gain isn't everything. If you think about it, the more gain you have, the more compressed the signal is going to be coming out your antenna, the radiation pattern, and that's going to be focused at the horizon. Now that's going to be all well and good, but if you've got one of these high up on a mountain or a building, then it might not necessarily get the users underneath it or lower down. So if you use a lower gain antenna, it means that you have a larger lobe, and it should work a little bit better in some cases. So just one thing to keep in mind. Now these antennas, I might do another quick video on the sweep of these antennas. I put these on the Nano VNA and they look quite good. So let me know in the comments below if you want to see that video. A couple of 18650 batteries. I've got a 3600 milliamp hours each. And the device that I'm using is a Seed Studio XIAO NRF 52840. In fact, I've got one of those sitting here. These things are super, super tiny. There's two pads, battery pads, which you can solder some leads to. And then you can run these directly off a battery rather than the 5 volts out the USB-C here at the top. So you see that those leads are going in and under. And then I am going straight into this MPPT solar controller board. So we just this is the solar panel wire. I chopped the USB-C plug off. You got a red and black wire. And then you just got to check the polarities as well, because on the board, sometimes these plugs might be around the wrong way. And I've just got that plugged into the solar in there, battery onto the other end, and then I've got the device sitting on the other side of the battery. I've got a SMA to UFL connector that goes here onto the, if you can just see in there, the bottom of the board. This one's probably a little bit too long. I probably need to shorten this down to sort of like, this is 20 centimeters. I could probably get away with 10 centimeters. And then I've got an SMA female to N connector, which basically is drilled out there on the top. I need to get some silicone and just make sure that I seal all around the top here. And then I'm going to tape up the rest of the antenna so that no water can get in. About these battery compartments, let me find one here. Here we go. So I found this out, and another friend of mine also found this out. If you end up going down this route and end up buying bits from AliExpress, just check to make sure that they're all labeled out correctly. You'll see there that in the top half of the battery compartment, see the negative side is over here and the positive side is over here, and then it's the opposite in the bottom. Well, this battery compartment is actually not wired that way. You'll see that the bottom of the compartment there is wired in parallel and the top is wired in parallel. So if you put in a battery with the way that they're saying there, you will short circuit the entire system. So both batteries will be short circuited. So if you buy these and they're the parallel version, just have a look. So the top there is positive because you've got the red wire coming out, and then the bottom is in parallel and you've got the black wire running along the case. So as long as you put the batteries the same polarity, the same way, in parallel, then they'll be fine. Now I also got a few other bits here which I might incorporate in future. This is a little battery holder as well. I'm gonna put the two 18650 batteries in there, which does have the correct way or the correct polarity on the battery there. And it's got this board on the back. You can feed in 5 volts in on this side, either USB-C or here on the pads. And I believe that this is a charger as well. And then you've got the UPS functionality on the other side, which you can connect into your Meshcore board, and then this should power it as well. So that's another option too. I haven't used this in this setup, but I do have this for a future project. Now you also notice too, just quickly, I've got the original adjustable bracket here on the solar panel so that you can adjust the angle. Now, you probably don't need that, and to be honest, I don't know what the longevity of this is going to be outside. It'll just be something that I'm going to have to test, but it does allow you to get an angle in there so that you can angle it more towards where the sun's going to be. Probably a better option would be to just put a single bolt through here, through the top of the lid, and then into the back of the solar panel. It uses a quarter inch bolt there. So then you'd have this basically flush with the top of the lid of the box. But again, you don't get that optimum angle. So this is my first build, I'm experimenting, so I might change that in future. There is a little breather bung here as well. So I bought a little pack of 10 of these things. And these are something that you shouldn't really overlook. you drill out a little hole, and you'll notice that, see how they've got a hole there in the top, and they've also got these slotted holes here in the bottom. This is just so that airflow can be allowed into the sealed box, but also more importantly, to sort of, if it gets warm, then it can be allowed to sort of breathe. But more importantly, if for some reason water does get into this, there is a way it can exit. It can basically go through that little hole and it can drip out the bottom. So it does have an inbuilt drain hole basically. Now everything here is mounted just with double-sided tape. I just got some old double-sided tape that I've got here and I stuck everything down. I probably will move the location of this, but it doesn't really move and everything is very solid. I also did incorporate a fuse in there as well. That's a 2 amp fuse that I've just put in line with the battery just in case something happens, if there's a short or something across that board at some point, so that the fuse will blow so that it's not going to melt the entire box. Now I've got some other bits and pieces here too. I've got a couple of these boards which are little 5 volt 18650 charge boards, so they're another alternative to these chargers in here too. A little bit more soldering required. The other thing that you may also need is one of these. This is a little sawtooth filter, sawtooth bandpass filter for 915 megs. So if you end up plugging in your Meshcore repeater and the noise level is quite high or it can't receive many signals, you might have some interfering stations nearby. So you might need one of these filters as well to plug in line with the antenna so that it filters out all of the interference that you might be receiving, especially if you're near cell sites or high broadcast transmitters or something like that. You might need one of those too. If you want to see a full build video where I sort of build it from scratch, let me know in the comments and I can probably organise to do one of those videos if it's of interest to you. Now I've also been playing with APRS over LoRa, which is separate to Meshcore but uses that same underlying LoRa technology. If you want to see that video, then I did that over here as well as some of my other Meshcore series videos too.